The Dark Knight is considered to be one of the greatest superhero movies ever, and I found I had to watch it at least 3 to 4 times to appreciate everything in it. For people that aren't fans of the Batman franchise, it might sound kinda silly to say that such a classic comic book superhero like Batman could be portrayed in such an incredibly realistic light, but the world building, the characters' interactions, the practical effects, this movie feels incredibly real. And it feels real to a point where we start reflecting on our own world that we live in today, and if you spend a lot of time doing that, you might draw some parallels. One of the most fantastic parts of this movie, though, is the soundtrack. And the track in particular I want to talk about is Why So Serious. Like countless fans, I've always been very interested in supervillains, and I would always imagine a villain that has a certain aura that follows them, a presence that fills the room that their opponent can feel, a sort of unnatural and unnerving feeling. And it's been said countless times, but the Joker is that villain. Throughout this movie, this track is brought in slowly whenever the Joker makes his presence known, and I think it complements his actions and words on screen perfectly. This is a prime example of how you create and use music to enhance a story.
I thought my jokes were bad.
Another scene that sticks with me from The Dark Knight is the final minute. Incredible cinematic shots are matched with a vocal monologue, and The Dark Knight's main theme swells in the background as you see Batman ride off into the Gotham sunset. I think both the beginning and ending scenes in this film are perfect, and it will forever be a reminder of Christopher Nolan and Hans Zimmer's incredible work. I was lucky enough to see Oppenheimer in the theater opening week, and unlike The Dark Knight, I've only seen this movie once. Which is interesting, since a year after watching it, I still think about this movie sometimes, whether if it's a particular cinematic shot or an important voice note from the film. Overall, 2 main things stuck with me: Cillian Murphy's incredible performance, and the unbelievable piece of Can You Hear the Music? The entire Oppenheimer score from Ludwig is incredible. The cinematic shots of Cillian Murphy thinking, staring at the rain, mixed with Can You Hear the Music is a cinematic masterclass. There's this slow, methodic tone that builds tension as the movie progresses, and the actual bomb testing scene is one of a kind. Those couple seconds of silence, followed by a massive explosion, was a pretty remarkable experience in the theater. Just listening to Can You Hear the Music by itself provokes so much thought, so much feeling and emotion, to the point where I think if somebody listened to it that has never seen Oppenheimer, they would still feel the same way about it. It is genuinely a beautiful piece of music, and Christopher Nolan's visually incredible Oppenheimer pairs perfectly with, once again, an amazing soundtrack. As of now, Interstellar is my favorite movie. Now obviously, I run a movie-oriented YouTube channel. I watch a decent amount of films, but I remember how I felt the first time I watched Interstellar. This movie is visually incredible. The spaceship docking scene, the unbelievable black hole, the terrifying environment of Miller's planet. During the duration of this film, the setting just keeps changing and getting more interesting. It's just unbelievable what they visually achieved here. I think what truly makes Interstellar my favorite movie of all time is the intense emotional moments, and of course, Interstellar's main theme. One of the most popular moments of the movie is Cooper watching his kids' lives flash before his eyes. And as far as acting goes, this particular scene has always stuck with me. It's pure emotion. No camera tricks, no spliced up shots, just a father wishing he could have time back with those he loves most. It's incredible the feeling that Interstellar brings out. One of the final scenes where you see Cooper fulfill his promise to his daughter.
How? Because my dad promised me.
The music almost hits perfectly in rhythm with her voice, signifying the meaning and passion of the moment. Interstellar is a race against time. You can appreciate money when you have it. You can appreciate gifts and media, but this movie portrays an important message. Learn to appreciate the passage of time and those you want to share it with.